furry friends. Okay, we're gonna have two of these boys up on stage. We've got Patrick over there as well as Sumo over there. Okay, now these two boys, they are brothers, and these brothers, they are gonna show us how easy it is for them to forage about. Now, they are our South American coati, and I want you guys to focus on two features that enables them to be excellent foragers. First up, we've got long snouts. Now, these snouts, they're extremely flexible. They can actually bend in any shape or which and bend in any direction, just like an elephant shark. Second feature, we've got long, sharp claws. Now, these claws, they enable the coati to climb up and down trees in search of their food, alright? Now, they are omnivores, which means that their diet consists of tubers, roots, vegetables that you can find on the floor as well as up in the trees, and also the occasional bird's eggs as well as reptiles and amphibians, alright? Now the boys, they'll be heading back after they consume the tree, and we're now going to actually move away from the South American region. We're going to go to the island, or wait, the continent we call Africa, or the island we call Madagascar, okay? Now the next animal is going to be a little bit more famous to you guys through the animated movie Madagascar itself. They are black, they are white, and you guys, hopefully, will know them through this song. Yeah, we like to move it, and we're going to welcome our first ring-tailed lemur for the day. That is Bibi, by the way. And he is one of our boys who's involved in the training session. And I'm also involved, actually. I'll be bringing him closer to you guys if he is willing to cooperate, that is. Alright, now, ring-tailed lemurs, they are social animals, and when they move about, I want you guys to focus on how they hold their tail, okay? You will see in a few moments that they actually have a tendency to hold their tail high up like a flag. Now, this is actually a social adaptation to help the lemurs to look out for one another when they're out in the forest. Okay, now, they are social animals, which means that they actually can live up to 25 individuals in one group. Alright, we've got Prem from backup over here. Prem, nice to meet you. Oh, somewhere there. Alright. He is sand marking. If you can see him, that behavior over there is what we call sand marking. I will actually, if they are going to participate, I will actually try to explain to you guys where you can actually see the sand glands on the lemurs themselves. Yeah. Okay, slow and steady. There you go. Alright, now, Prem over here, you're gonna hear her make a couple of sounds. Okay, not her herself, but her tools are gonna make a couple of sounds. Okay, now, the first sound that you're gonna hear is the sound of the clicker, which I was doing earlier also just now. Now, this sound is simply a recall mechanism. We've actually trained the animal to listen out for the sound and move towards the sound in order for them to actually know that they're supposed to go towards that area in case they cannot see the trainer. Alright, now the second sound that you might hear Prem making is that the whistling noises that she's going to be giving out. Alright, now the whistle is actually a bridge. It's a form of cue to the animal to we actually can tell them that they have done something correct and they should expect for themselves a food reward. That's why we call it a bridge. We're going to bridge the animal to make them understand the whole situation over there. Alright, now Bibi is actually going to be coming closer to you guys here on the ground floor, also at the railing, so as best as possible, just stay in your seats. Or, if you're still finding your seats, you gotta hurry up and find your seats, okay? Now, we've got one more boy up on stage over here. This is SB. SB is Bibi's father. And the two boys over here, they are going to be showing a couple of jumping behaviors, okay? Agility behaviors. Alright, now SB up on stage, she's going to be doing a couple of vertical jumps, while Bibi over there, she's going to be doing a couple of horizontal jumps across the railing. Alright, SB, it's your turn. Okay, you munch first. Munch. Okay, target. Yeah. Alright, that was an easy jump. It was just a warm-up. Very short jump for him. And I'm gonna see if we can actually do it a little bit higher today. Yeah! Okay, one more time. Yeah! Okay, that's all. Nice try. Oh, he's scared. Okay, you can also focus your attention over there. In the meantime, I'm gonna talk about this thing over here. I'm holding on to what we call a target stick. Frank is holding on to one of them as well. Now this target stick, they are actually any random stick that has been conditioned to the animal. That what makes this stick a little bit more special is the distinctive bulb at the end of the stick over here, or it could be a distinctive color as well. Hey, no stealing food. You wait first. Okay? Now, we've conditioned the animals to actually aim their snouts to the bulb over here, and then we can actually use the target stick as a guide to help to point to places where we want the animals to go. Alright? Okay, we're now gonna move to sand marking behavior, okay? This behavior right here is what we call sting fighting. Now, when male ringtail lemurs they get into a disagreement, what's gonna happen is they are gonna do something we call sting fighting, which is they're gonna take their sand glands located at the wrist, as well as their upper chest over here. You can also look at over there, and they're gonna swipe that tail and make it as smelly as possible. They're gonna be facing each other while doing this, and they're gonna be waving their tail at one another. The smellier boy would actually win the fight. The less smellier one would just have to fight another day. That's right. Okay, one more. Very good. Alright. We are now going to send the boys back because I think they've actually done a very nice job for their segment. How about a round of applause? Here you go. Now, a good thing to take note about ringtail lemurs is that their captivity population is actually much larger than the population that they have out in the wild in Madagascar. That's right. So, if you guys know of any efforts to actually help the species, do lend them a helping hand, especially in terms of the financial aid, right? Okay, we're gonna send them back and we are gonna see if we don't have the promise for this segment, okay? We're gonna move on. And now we're gonna focus actually to the skies of Singapore. We're gonna look out for a medium-sized bird. Look at that and white feathers and an iconic yellow beak. That is our female for this show. Her name is Chiku. Now, Chiku is our oriental pied hornbill. Oriental pied hornbills, they can be found in Singapore. Alright, they are native to the Singaporean waters as well as the nearby Malay Archipelago islands. That's right. Now, when she flies about doing her flying behaviors across the stage with the two trainers over here, I want you guys to focus your attention on how she flies. She doesn't flap her wings like how pigeons fly. She actually has a unique flying pattern where she will flap her wings a few times and then glide, flap her wings a few times and then glide. Alright, you can take note of the flying pattern because we've got one more flight over there. But I'm going to talk about that thing that is on top of her head right now. Now, because hornbills, they are known to have something we call cusps. Now, cusps, they can range in many different shapes as well as sizes, but because she is a girl right now, it will be much smaller if she was a boy. And believe it or not, the cusp is actually made up of a honeycomb structure, which actually will enable the bird to remain lightweight, as well as maintain the shape of the whole cusp as well. Yeah, wow, indeed, that's right. Okay, we've got actually one more behavior for the bird before we end off the segment, okay? I've got my grape with me over here. She's looking at the grape. She knows what's about to happen. Keep your cameras on the bird. On the count of 3, I'm gonna toss. 1, 2, 3, and... Yeah. Okay, I've got one more bonus grape. So if you miss that toss, you've got one more shot. Okay, I'm gonna try to toss a little bit higher, give her a little bit more of a challenge. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah! Very nice. Okay, now, of course, in the wild, you will not be seeing pieces of grapes flying about. Alright, who's going to toss them? Now, this actually is a demonstration for us to show you guys that hornbills, they are omnivores, which means that their diet consists of small insects as well as small birds, and that behavior right there is how they are able to capture their prey in mid-air without even trying to stop for them. Alright? We are now going to slow things down and move away from the fun and games of the rainforest. We're going to talk about somebody a little bit more scary, okay? Now, the next animal that I'm about to introduce to you guys. Some people call them evil. Some people say that they strike with no reason or warning. And I hope you guys don't get really nervous when you hear this sound. Yes, that's right, snakes. I'm talking about snakes right now. Okay, snakes. In this type of weather, very hot and humid, they love to curl up in small and squeezy places. So how about you guys try and check underneath your teeth while I try to check over there. Gorgeous boy, his name is Gummy and he is our milk snake. Alright, now he is native to the American region and he is actually very nice adaptation about him is actually that this coloration is an adaptation to actually mimic another species of snake. And that species of snake is what we call the coral snake, okay? Now these guys over here, there's a distinctive difference between them, which is the pattern among and between the colors actually. Alright, now the reason why there's a form of mimicry is because the coral snake is a very well-known venomous snake. When actually the male snake over here is not a venomous snake, it is constrictor. So it actually mimics the prey and mimics the coral snake to help reduce the chance of being prey. Because who wants to eat a venomous snake, right? Okay, now I'm going to teach you guys just a simple rhyme that the locals have actually come across or like came up to actually distinguish between the coral snakes as well as the milk snakes, okay? Now, the rhyme goes like this. Red against black, friend of Jack. Red against yellow, kill a fellow. So, when you see the red and black colors against each other, you can assume that they are your friend. Well, if you see the red and yellow bands together, you can assume that they are the venomous species, that's right. Okay, so if you look at milk snake over here, the milk snake over here, you can see that the black and the red bands are touching each other, which means that they are the non-venomous species, okay? Now, I'm gonna straighten out some misconceptions about snakes in general. Alright, now first thing over here, you might think that Gummy over here is wet because of the shine that is reflected off of his scales, but I'm here to tell you guys that he is actually smooth and dry. Now, a good gauge of how a snake can actually feel like is if you take your fingernails like this, and then you take your fingertip and you stroke your fingernails just like that. Is exactly how smooth a snake's scales can feel like. They are made up of keratin, the same substance as our fingernails and our hair. Second misconception of the day, a lot of people think that when they find snakes out in the wild, that they are going to be venomous creatures. But I'm here to tell you guys that most of the snakes that you're going to find out in the wild, they are non-venomous, which means that they are constrictors, and what constrictors do to get their food is that they will wait for them, they will strike them and collar them and squeeze them to death and swallow them whole. A good gauge of how big a snake can actually swallow its prey is if you look at the head over here and then you multiply the width by 4, that is exactly how large the snake can actually swallow its prey. Alright? Now, we're gonna talk about another species of animal that will be coming up on stage, and we're gonna move away from the scarier parts of the rainforest. We're gonna see if the boy, I think the boy is actually gonna be joining us because I see Prem over there. This is not the boy, by the way, this is Prem. Hello. Now, if you can see him, he is Marshall. He is our greater hawk badger, and he is one of my personal favorites because of how fluffy he is. Alright, now, this boy over here, he's actually an extremely rare species. Now, he is a greater hawk badger native to the northern part of Thailand all the way up to China. Now, these guys, they're extremely shy in nature, and this is actually a great photographic opportunity for you guys because it is very rare to actually see greater hawk badgers showcased this way in broad daylight and in a very, very nice spectacle like this with the local miners as well. That's right. Alright, now, very little is known about this species simply because of how shy they are in terms of research, okay? But what we do know is that this species is extremely threatened by deforestation as well as poaching. Now the next part of the show, we're gonna show you guys just a snippet of what happens during deforestation, and you guys can get to decide if you want to be part of the problem or if you want to start being a part of the solution. Have a look. All of the rainforests throughout the world, what's going to happen to them is that they are going to disappear forever. Now what this means is that our future generation, our children, as well as maybe even their grandchildren will not be able to witness what you guys have just seen today. Now mankind will be the planet's biggest threat, but we are also its only hope. So how about we give our voices to these voiceless creatures, and hopefully we're gonna bring the rainforest back to life. Yeah, that's right. Now on behalf of all of us here at the Rainforest Fight Back, from the cast as well as the crew that make this show possible, thank you for joining us on our first Rainforest show of the day. Proudly brought to you by Captain Ann. Take care, stay safe, and last but not least everybody, most importantly, have fun at the Singapore Zoo. Bye-bye.